What's up guys? Today on Robbie's Reviews, I am in the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I just want to thank my friends from Foreign Affairs Motorsport in Deerfield Beach, Florida for allowing me to take the new Grand Wagoneer out today to see what it's like to drive, give it a review, and show you guys all of its amazing, cool features and new technology. Jeep is officially in the luxury vehicle segment, and the Grand Wagoneer is meant to compete with the likes of the Mercedes-Benz GLS, the BMW X7, the big body Range Rover, Cadillac Escalade, Lincoln Navigator, really the oversized SUV, 7-passenger or sometimes 8-passenger, just very large luxury SUVs that do break the 6-figure price point. But today we're going to dive into the new Grand Wagoneer, see what sets it apart or doesn't set it apart from its competition, and should be a good one. So let's go check it out. And here we have the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is a completely new model. Obviously the name isn't new. They brought back an old model. There's also going to be a regular Wagoneer, just like there's a Cherokee and Grand Cherokee, and now a Grand Cherokee L. The Grand Wagoneer is more than an L. It's actually an extended wheelbase or oversized SUV, if you will. This example is finished in a lovely metallic gray color, very subdued. Now this isn't a two-tone. Some of you guys may have seen press release photos where there's like the body color below and then the black on the pillars and the roof. But in this case, we just have a monochromatic color. Very nice metallic gray. We do have a lot of chrome trim. This being a premium luxury SUV, tons of chrome trim. There is a trim level you can get that blacks out all the chrome trim, which looks really good. But honestly, for a vehicle like this, as imposing as it is, I really don't mind the chrome trim. Goes all the way around the windows, up on the massive roof rack here. You see the double pano roof. You have the full-size pano there, and then you have a third one back here for the third row passengers, so they're not left out. You have more chrome trim around the large third row window here. You have more chrome trim around those really cool taillights. Actually, if I take the key out here, actually a newly designed key. It says Grand Wagoneer on the back, and if you unlock it, it actually has double sequential. So if you guys just saw that, so if I lock it, it does kind of like a reverse of that little light dance, similar to what Audi and Mercedes-Benz is doing. And if you unlock it, that's just plain cool. So here around the license plate area, you have this really interesting like pattern. It looks like it's behind a piece of plexiglass or something like that. Not really sure what the pattern is. It's also very dirty. But you have the large Grand Wagoneer letters back here. Actually come out at an angle. Very, very cool. You have more of that chrome trim going around the rear window. Actually makes the window look a little bit small, but rest assured inside plenty of visibility. This is a Series 1. So there's up to a Series 3. So the Series 1, I guess you can call the base model. However, the Grand Wagoneer, just like the Mercedes-Benz GLS, comes standard with many luxury features. So you're really not going to be missing out much if you get the Series 1. The Series 3 just comes with more bells and whistles. Really, you can just add on and on, similar to the German luxury vehicles. And just below the Grand Wagoneer lettering, you actually have Quadro driven. That's Jeep's new 4x4 system. Very cool. Once again, the Series 1 badging. And then you have the lower valance here in the gloss black with more chrome trim. Got the parking sensors, reflectors, and really hidden exhaust tips, but that is much better than doing fake exhaust tips like Audi likes to do on the Q7. So moving around the other side, of course you have very good looking wheels. There are several wheel options available for the Grand Wagoneer. I believe up to a 23-inch wheel option, but these look very good nonetheless. Let's just take a step back and look at that amazing silhouette. It is a very large vehicle. And actually, we were talking about the Mercedes-Benz GLS. The silhouette or side profile of the Grand Wagoneer is very similar to the GLS, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you can't beat them, join them. If you look at the big body Range Rovers, the BMW X7, the Escalade, really all have the same or similar silhouettes as far as the overall design on the side of the vehicle goes. Then coming down here, you have more Grand Wagoneer badging. You have an American flag there. I like that. Nice little touch. Built in the USA, of course. And then coming up here, you have the mirrors with even more chrome trim. You have the camera there. That's part of the 360-degree camera system. You have the blind spot monitor right there, a little triangle that lights up. And one of the many amazing standard options on the Grand Wagoneer is the body color running boards, the power running boards that come out. And instead of some vehicles like the Escalade or some pickup trucks, where you can see them when they kind of come out from the rocker panel, in this case, the power running board is the rocker panel of the Grand Wagoneer. So you open the door, they come out, get a little sneak peek of the interior. As you can see right off the bat, just a very, very large, luxurious interior. Leather, wood, metal everywhere. There's that full-size pano roof with the little one for the back. Also a power sunshade. You have the second row captain's chairs with the little infotainment screen here. third row back there. Actually, everything folds, giving you a unprecedented amount of cargo space. And right when you step in, you definitely know that you're in the new Grand Wagoneer. It says Grand Wagoneer up here on this like satin wood here with the shiny silver letters. This looks awesome. Then on the side of the seat here, you can't really see it now, but this lights up at night. It says Grand Wagoneer. And then Wagoneer on the sill plate also lights up. And you have two versions of the Macintosh sound system here. This is the kind of bass version of it, which is anything but a bass sound system. Sounds incredible. Can't imagine what the upgraded system sounds like. There's the Series 1 badging on the seat there. Full leather seats. You have adjustable headrests, everything. Just truly an amazing interior that we're going to check out more in depth in a little bit. And coming back to the door panel, you have the seat controls. That's taken another page out of Mercedes-Benz's book here. Very nice chrome door handles. You have the window controls here. Double contrast stitching. More of that like satin finish wood. Very, very nice. All right, let's close it up. Now there's no soft close on this example, but it is an option. And the power running boards fold away and essentially become the rocker panel. Very, very cool. Now coming around to the front here. As you can see, it's just a very, very bold, striking, imposing vehicle. It doesn't say Jeep anywhere on the outside, at least not that I've seen. I did get a couple comments on it already. Some people, one guy knew it was a Jeep. He saw like some press release and it's like, oh, that's the new Grand Wagoneer. But a lot of other people just had no idea what it was. They thought it was a new brand entirely. And you can see some Jeep here and there. Actually, you can see some Mercedes-Benz and even some Range Rover. But like I was saying earlier, not necessarily a bad thing. You have the classic Jeep style grille here with the Wagoneer letters right at the top of the grille. On the regular non-Grand Wagoneer, you'd have the letters up on the hood. You have more trim down here, more chrome trim. You have the sensor for the adaptive cruise control. You have the front camera right up here in the grille. It actually has a cute little washer. It's pretty funny. And you have the latest and greatest LED headlight technology from Stellantis. And then you have LED fog lights down here, wraparound parking sensors. This vehicle will do perpendicular and parallel parking by itself. Coming up to the windshield, you have things like the heads-up display, lane keep assist, auto wipers, and all that. It is a very large vehicle. Although I will say, so far, at least from the drive on the way over from the shop to this park, a couple miles down the road, right now, in my opinion, it does drive better than the new Cadillac Escalade. Do have to drive a little bit more to get a better opinion, but at least for the couple minutes it took me to get over here, it is right now the nicest driving SUV I've ever driven. The air suspension is fantastic. There's not too much body roll. I mean, it's not an AMG or an RSQ8 or something like that. You do need it to be a little bit floaty. It's not a sports car. It should be comfortable more than anything. But right now we're going to take a look under the hood, because there's not your average engine under the hood of this vehicle. Hood pull right here. So under the hood is a 6.4 liter 392 Hemi V8. Produces 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. Plenty of power for this vehicle. The 6.2 liter V8 that comes in the Escalade, don't remember exactly how much power it makes, but this definitely felt punchier, although I think the Grand Wagoneer is actually heavier. But nonetheless, still plenty of power for this vehicle. Gas mileage is atrocious, but I'm sure you guys expected that, and it's not one of the reasons I would buy a vehicle like this to begin with. But there it is, a Hemi and a big SUV, can't beat that. And coming down here, you can see it has a plaque. It says Wagoneer on it. Designed in Auburn Hills, Michigan, built in Warren, Michigan, born in America. Very, very cool. Got that American pride front and center. All right, right now we're going to close it down, go and check out the interior. Once again, you have those power running boards. All right, sitting here in the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Very, very lovely place to be. Definitely can't complain. You have probably the coolest push start button I've ever seen over here. It looks like you're starting up a jet engine or something. It's actually leather wrapped too. So start it up. Did a very cool startup animation. It says Grand Wagoneer. Have the completely new steering wheel here. I've never seen this design in any other Chrysler vehicle. It's a two-spoke design. It says Grand Wagoneer. Very, very cool. Paying homage to that old moniker they brought back. This little piece of trim here, which I don't know if something is going to go there, like this is special edition, or if it's just a nice little piece of trim. You have a flat bottom, fully leather wrapped. You have the contrast stitching here. Adequate bolstering on the side. Very comfortable. It's the power telescoping steering wheel. You have more of that satin wood over here. There is a lot of piano black in these new luxury vehicles, which is prone to fingerprints, but not really a big deal. It does look nice, it looks premium. You have the seat controls here on the door. You have all your massage settings. So if you press the button there, all haptic feedback. Brings up all your controls. You can do massage. You have waterfall, lower back, extension, low extend, rock climb, turn it on, off. And there is a lot of like customizability when it comes to the seats. Some people would argue it's almost too much. You can really adjust everything, like the side bolster, how much you want to go in and out, the back bolster, lumbar in and out. You can do the rear, climb it too, screen off. And this is very Range Rover and Audi-ish, but it works. I mean, it looks good, it goes perfect. You have this really nice rotary knob here for the transmission. And speaking of the transmission, it is the good old ZF 8-speed torque converter. It is a fantastic transmission that's used throughout the Stellantis group. And if for those of you that are wondering why I keep saying Stellantis, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, or FCA America, was basically bought out, and now it is Stellantis. So Chrysler, Stellantis, whatever you want to call it, it's the new group. Still the same vehicles, just under a different name and ownership. The seats are very, very cool. Once again, massage, heated, cooled. Now here you have all your haptic feedback buttons for your heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel. You just like swipe it on. It's very, very cool. And sometimes haptic feedback works, sometimes it doesn't. Cadillac seems to have finally gotten it down. Another really cool feature, speaking of Cadillac, on the Escalade, if you hit this little button right here, the screen actually hides away. You have a NFC wireless charging pad, 12-volt DC outlet, USB-C auxiliary, USB ports, HDMI for the passenger. Yep, there is a passenger screen. It is actually one of the only options this example has, but it is probably one of my favorite options. So there is a privacy screen. We'll have to go to the other side in a little bit to check it out. But the passenger can plug in an HDMI cable, connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot, whatever, watch Netflix. There is an option for rear TV screens. They can do the same thing. Of course, you have the little tablet there. That's for the climate control and everything. Coming down here, actually press this button to get the screen to go back. Very cool. And you have all your climate controls up here, all the hard buttons. Of course, you can go to the front and control everything like that. You have your hazard lights, all your different self-parking, tow modes. You can turn on and off the passenger screen. And I like how this whole panel kind of like vibrates and moves with the haptic feedback. Here you have the controls for the air suspension. Once again, kind of taken straight out of the Range Rover playbook, but not a bad thing. You have your different modes. You have rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, and sport. The one weird thing is that it is a ultra luxury vehicle, you can call it, and there's no comfort mode. So I don't know if auto is just comfort, or not really sure how that works. But then you have 4-wheel drive low. Once again, you have the transmission controls here, the rotary knob for park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Air suspension controls, you can put it up, down. Apparently it's best in class air suspension. It can raise up to 10 inches. And for the easy exit and entry mode, it doesn't go as low as like the Range Rovers and the Escalades, but it does go pretty low. You have your hill descent assist here. Very, very large cup holders. You actually have storage for an iPhone. Let's see here. The 13 Pro Max, it fits in there perfectly. Now here you have a very large center console. Opens up. This does not have the refrigerator option, sadly. However, you do get plenty of space. Once again, another great spot for your phone. You have USB-C and all that. This can close. Love that satin wood. This little roller door here. Very, very cool. And you have your traditional knobs for your volume and your radio. I love to see that. I really don't like when car manufacturers get too creative when it comes to that. Really just keep it simple. Sometimes the best thing to do. Coming up to the dashboard, which is fully leather wrapped. You have white contrast stitching throughout. Your heads-up display. You have your frameless mirror here. Very, very nice. I'm assuming the digital mirror is an option. However, this example does not have it. Coming around to the grab handles, fully leather wrapped. Very nice. Really, everything in this vehicle is wrapped in some kind of leather, metal, or wood. You're really not going to find any cheap materials in here. You have all your different stocks for your turn signals, auto wipers, rear wiper. And quite frankly, some of the nicest air vents I think that I've ever seen. You have this gloss black here, but then you have like this metal trim. And I've seen on some other versions you can have like a copper here. Very cool. Now, actually, a couple days ago, I got to check out the new Grand Cherokee L. And this is basically the same gauge cluster. Using the buttons here, you can actually scroll through. You can choose different options here. You got music. Similar to other Chrysler vehicles, Jeeps, Mopars, whatever you want to call them, Stellantis. Don't know if I'll ever get used to that name, but it works. So, because we have Sirius XM, you have your map display. All the controls that you have here basically can be repeated here in the screen in the main infotainment. So you have all your vehicle settings. It's actually a very snappy infotainment display. I don't know if it's Uconnect or if it's Jeep's own system or what it is, but you have all your different settings for your powered side step, surround camera, rear view camera. You can turn off the passenger screen. Go to the surround view camera here. So very, very nice camera system. Got the top view, the stitched together panoramic view here. Very high quality. Let's see what else we have. Settings, entertainment screens, just all your different safety and driving assistance settings. Automatic emergency braking, active lane management, park sense. Control basically everything. Blind spot alert. Power side step. Hill start assist. Tire fill assist. That's a feature that I actually first saw on the Ram TRX. So if you go to fill your tires up, and obviously you can't keep looking in the vehicle at the gauge, at the tire gauge. So once the tires have reached their optimum PSI, the vehicle will beep like 3 or 4 times. Just a cool feature. Let's see. Coming up here, you have all your controls for your pano roof, which is this layout here is kind of similar to what is in Ram and some Dodge vehicles. Not a bad thing to recycle parts, but it works here. It's a very nice, and they added some trim. You have all your LED lighting. Of course, you can open the panel roof here. Slides back. You have one for your liftgate as well. Love that third little panel roof back there. Very cool. Right now we're going to hop in the back of the Grand Wagoneer real quick, and then we're going to take it out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Actually, first let's get a little sound of that 392 Hemi exhaust note. Put it into sport mode. I don't know if it has exhaust valves, but it does sound pretty good. Got the little sport mode thing there. Alright, we're going to... I'd rather have it on the gauges, to be honest. Does this not have a traditional gauge cluster? That would be really weird if it didn't. Ah, there we go. Well, that sounds good. All right, sitting here in the back or the second row of the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. See here we have our rear climate control and rear heated seats. I'm sure cooled is an option just like the GLS and its competition. It says Grand Wagoneer here, very cool. Bunch of different charging ports, USB-C, USB, and you have the 115 volt AC outlet, 12 volt DC. Turn the screen off here, you can turn it back on. You have manual shades here, no power shades. Not sure if it's an option or not, but I do want to see. You do have double pane windows here for excellent sound insulation. The rear leather wrapped grab handles. You have that Macintosh system once again. Pretty much just speakers everywhere. The upgraded premium system comes with way more speakers, including TV screens will be back here. You can also use this to basically control them. You can see that passenger screen there. It has like a privacy screen. It's off right now, but it's meant for the driver to not be able to see it for safety reasons. And up here you have more leather wrapped grab handles. Looks like a little LED light. Very cool. Plenty of storage. Premium trim everywhere. Just double stitching everywhere you can see. You have an air vent down here. Get some more storage, more charging ports, plenty of places for your phones or whatever. Another phone holder here, more cup holders. Definitely lots of utility. And then back here you actually have even more charging ports. You have a little control for the seats. You can recline it, move it up and down. More air vents. Plenty of visibility. No one's going to feel claustrophobic back here, that is for sure. Another little pano roof. Alright, so now we're going to go hop up front and take the Grand Wagoneer out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Actually, before we take the Grand Wagoneer out for a drive, just wanted to check out the passenger screen. It's actually starting to rain a little bit now, so we'll kill some time. So to turn the passenger screen on in the Grand Wagoneer, you have a little haptic feedback button down here. It turns on. It's a touchscreen, of course. Go all the way through everything. Audio. Controls. You have wireless headphones available, which are actually not in the vehicle right now, but I'm assuming you can also connect some. You have your home controls. So you have your audio, video, HDMI. You can connect an HDMI cable. I actually believe you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can put in an address on the navigation. So let's see your search. Let's search for... Let's go to Ocala National Forest. So let's say we want to go here, hit plan. Then once you're ready, you can actually send it to the driver. Waiting for the driver to accept the route. It says new destination received, Ocala National Forest. You can view or accept it. Let's accept it. And then it just gets put in the navigation. Pretty cool.
Arrive at your destination at 6:34 p.m.
Okay, so we're not going to Ocala with the Grand Wagoneer, but we are going to go take it for a short drive, see how it compares to the Cadillac Escalade, the Mercedes-Benz GLS, and everything else that competes with the new Grand Wagoneer. Alright guys, right now I am in the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, just here at a local park, about to take it onto some main roads. Right now, it is the nicest driving SUV I've ever driven. Yes, that's comparing it to the GLS 600 Maybach. The air suspension in this thing is just unreal. I don't know what Jeep has done, how they tuned it. It is adaptive. It does change depending on what mode you're in. Right now I am in auto, and it says normal up here, suitable for most situations. You put it into sport, the suspension will lower a little bit. Like I was saying before, it is apparently best-in-class air suspension. It can raise up to 10 inches, and the easy exit and entry mode is very nice too. It is so quiet in here. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud. The sound installation here is really just as nice as any big body Range Rover, Mercedes GLS, BMW X7, and especially the Escalade and the Navigator, which are the Grand Wagoneer's main competition for the US. Loving this flat bottom steering wheel here. Like I was saying, very, very quiet. Not going to turn on the radio for copyright reasons, but the Macintosh system does sound very good. It actually is the base system. Can't imagine what the upgraded system sounds like. The view from the cockpit here in the Grand Wagoneer is really fantastic. Great visibility all around. The pillars are nice and swept back. They're actually pretty thin for an SUV this size. The rear window is huge. I can see great with this nice frameless mirror here. Got my cooled seats on. This actually is Uconnect. Must be the latest software design. It's very, very nice. Very snappy. It's honestly, not all that different from an iPad. And right now we're just going to turn onto a main road here. It's raining a little bit, but we have like a 5,500 pound plus four-wheel drive vehicle. Step on it a little bit here. Actually, I'm going to drop it down into sport mode. See if that'll wake it up a little bit. It says aerodynamic ride height achieved. Now, I don't know how aerodynamic Jeep thought that this vehicle was going to be, but it really has plenty of pep for what it is. Thanks to the 471 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque, produced by that 392 Hemi V8, 6.4 liter, paired to the ZF 8-speed transmission. Very, very smooth, very snappy. Shifts are virtually undetectable. Even in the sport mode right now, the air suspension is extremely soft, supple, comfortable. I can't feel anything in the road. Wide body scat pack just passed by. Yeah, honestly loving the way that the new Grand Wagoneer drives. Not trying to put too many miles on it. It is for sale and has just over 120 miles on the clock. It is definitely worth the money. I think these things start at like 90 something grand. Not much more I can really say about the new Grand Wagoneer. It's not a sports car. It's not even a sport SUV. It's not trying to be one. It makes no mistakes about it. It is a full-blown luxury SUV, and a large one at that. There's enough room for 7 passengers back there. The passenger has a screen here. I mean, the amount of technology, some of it is repeated from other Stellantis vehicles, and some of it is completely new and pioneered for this luxury segment. That the next Navigator and Escalade Mercedes GLS are probably going to want to take after. But, I mean, it's so smooth. We're going to put it actually back into auto, which is, I'm assuming that's the comfort mode, since it doesn't actually say comfort here. I've got all the lane keep assist, the self-driving. It says normal ride height achieved now. Great steering wheel. Love the heads-up display. Definitely is getting tons of looks too. Like I was saying earlier, it doesn't say Jeep anywhere on the outside or inside of the vehicle, at least not that I can see. There were a couple people that just had no idea what it was, and you really can't blame them. It's a totally new vehicle. They're very hard to get right now. You're really not going to find any at Jeep dealerships, unfortunately. But for those lucky few that can manage to get their hands on one, whether it's over sticker or not right now, you're definitely going to be very happy. This is not a cheap vehicle once again, but then again, it doesn't feel cheap. The way that it rides, the way that it drives, just everything, just very, very premium. And I'd say this is a very welcome addition to the luxury SUV segment. Alright guys, well that should do it for this review of the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Once again, I just want to thank my friends from Foreign Affairs Motorsport in Deerfield Beach, Florida, for allowing me to take the Grand Wagoneer out today to see what it's like to drive, show you guys all of its amazing new technology, and to see how it fits into the luxury SUV segment. This Grand Wagoneer actually is for sale. I'm going to put the contact information for Foreign Affairs Motorsport down below. And if you're interested in this vehicle, I highly recommend you go check it out because it's definitely not going to last. As always, thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on all future content. See you next time.